Hello and welcome to my Dogmatika ritual deck. First, the monsters. I'm playing 2 white Knight of Dogmatika. This can, if your opponent activates a card or effect, send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard and then 1 from theirs. This way you can get rid of the boss monsters before they can even summon them, and you can send cards from the extra deck like Antis or Herald of Arclight to get more advantage. Then I'm playing 2 white Relic of Dogmatika. This can, when she summoned, target 2 monsters on the field and 1 gains attack of the other. This way she can hit over pretty much everything that's targetable. Then if your opponent summons something from the extra deck, this can send 1 monster from the extra deck to the graveyard, and this makes all your level 8 or higher Dogmatika monsters indestroyable by battle. Then I'm playing 2 Manju. If you have Diviner, just play Diviner, because Diviner is way better. You can make an Albarrage with a Diviner. You sadly can't do it with a Manju. Manju is really nice because he can get you every ritual monster and every ritual spell. What's even better though is the 3 Ecclesia. This can get you every ritual monster and every ritual spell you're playing in the deck, as well as every Dogmatika card in general. Also, this summons itself for free if there's a monster from the extra deck on the field, and it's indestructible by battle from a monster that's summoned from the extra deck. And I'm playing 2 Fleur-de-Lis. You can special summon this from the hand if there's a monster from the extra deck on the field, and then if you control another Dogmatika monster, you can non-target negate the effects of 1 monster on the field. This comes in really handy sometimes because you can search this with some cards in the end phase, or for example just normal summon Ecclesia, get this to the hand, and then even if your opponent would Dark Ruler no more your board, you can still summon this from the hand and have a non-targeting negate. Then I'm playing 3 Maximus. You can play this at 3, but I feel like there are enough ways to get an extra deck monster to the graveyard to summon this reliably on turn 1. Most not so pure decks would play this at 2 or play this at 1, but I feel like in this list you can definitely play him at 3. Then I'm playing 1 Ashian. Ashian is really cool because he summons himself when any Xyz, Synchro, Fusion or Link monster is sent to the graveyard. This doesn't mean just from your extra deck, and it also doesn't mean just from the extra deck in general. You can also just summon this when something is destroyed by battle, for example. If a Synchro monster is destroyed by battle or destroyed by a card effect, then you can special summon this from your hand, and if he's special summoned from the hand, you can target 1 Dogmatika card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. This way you can get a punishment back, you can get an Ecclesia back, you can get any ritual spell you want back. He's just really nice as a one-off. And another nice one-off, I'm playing 1 Pank. I've seen this main decked many times, this format, and I can only agree. This is such a nice monster. You can sometimes hit over a boss monster with it, and worst case, this always goes even. You can get rid of an anti-spell fragrance with this, you can get rid of a summon limit, you can get rid of whatever. You can get rid of a Mystic Mine with this. There's so many things you can do with this. Then I'm playing 3 Gamma, and because I'm playing Gamma, I'm obviously playing 1 Driver as well. You're playing some search cards like Nadir Servant, for example, and if they would attempt to ash you, you can just Gamma them, and then you have a free body on the board, your search didn't get negated, and you can just use this for a Synchro Summon if you wanted to. Or if you go second and they do a really important summon as well, you can just destroy the monster as well. Gamma is just a nice hand trap, but it always hurts to see the Driver in the hand. Then for the spells, I'm playing 3 Dogmatic Catastrophe. This one can ritual summon any Dogmatika ritual monster, and it can use materials from your hand, or it can send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard whose level is equal to the monster you want to ritual summon. The Dogmatika ritual monsters were, as you already saw, level 4 and level 8. This way you can either send a Herald of Arclight or send a level 8 monster I'm going to tell you about later from the extra deck to the graveyard. Most of the time you're going to send an Arclight. This way you're going to get another search with the Arclight, and that's why I'm maxing out on this. Then I'm playing 2 Dogmatic Macabre. This can ritual summon any Dogmatika ritual monster from your hand and or graveyard, and you can either tribute monsters the normal way from your hand or field, or banish extra deck monsters from your graveyard whose level is equal to the level of the monster you want to ritual summon. This is really nice because you can, with Catastrophe, send an Arclight, special summon something. For example, you normal summon Ecclesia, search yourself the Catastrophe, summon the level 4 one, send the Arclight, then you can Macabre, banish the Arclight from the graveyard and tribute the Ecclesia from the field to get yourself the level 8. And then if you control the level 4 and the level 8 ritual monster, this can send one card from your opponent's extra deck to the graveyard. This is really nice because this can turn 1 already send one card from the extra deck to the graveyard, and they can't really play around this. Like even if they droplet you in their standby phase, they can't really do anything when you already sent the Hulk or some other key piece from the extra deck to the graveyard. Then I'm playing 3 pre-preparation of rites. Dogmatic Macabre says both, or rather lists both ritual monsters on its text. That's why you can search both ritual monsters with pre-prep, and you can search Macabre, which is really nice. And another way where I'm only playing 2 Macabre. Then I'm playing 2 Nadir Servant. I would play 3, but this is semi-limited, obviously. Nadir Servant is just so cool in this build. You can send an Arclight because Arclight has 600 attack, and add any ritual monster because they're both on 500 attack. Or you can just do the default stuff like send Entis and add Ecclesia. And finally, I'm playing 1 Called by the Grave, just because it's a good card. Like, it's interruption if I go first, and if I go second, I can still like negate hand traps with this, or like negate a hand trap even if I go first with this. Then for the traps, I am playing 3 Imperm. Imperm is just a great hand trap this format, and it's a trap. You will see later why this matters. I'm playing 2 D-Barrier. D-Barrier in main deck might be questionable, but just win the die roll, kick W. D-Barrier is nice because it negates as well. Like, for example, you can have your opponent have a board of 5 synchro monsters. They are all like really strong ones, and you can just D-Barrier them if you go second as well. It's slow, I know, but like some people argue for Solemn Strike as well if you go second, because they can't respond to it. And this is mass negation, even though it's maybe not a mass removal or a mass floodgate if you go second. Then I'm playing 2 Dogmatika Punishment. Punishment is, as always, an insane card, but because this is pretty much pre-siding, because you don't know if you go first or second, I'm only playing 2 Punishment. It's searchable as well, and not just via Ecclesia, but via Trap Trick 2. This way you play essentially 4 D-Barriers in your main deck, you play 4 Punishments, and you play 5 Imperms in your main deck. Trap Trick is just really nice. I really like this, and there's some spice in the side deck as well that interacts with Trap Trick. But first, the extra deck. I already told you about him, but I'm playing 3 Herald of Arclight. Arclight is just such a cool card. Not once per turn, that when it's sent to the graveyard, you can either add any ritual monster or any ritual spell from your deck to the graveyard, from your deck to the hand. Then I'm playing 2 Entis. You could play 3, but this is a Dogmatika ritual deck, and this isn't just Dogmatika, Unga Bunga, send Entis, pop 2, and then proceed to pass turn. So I didn't want to play more Entis, but let's say you have Diviner, then you can definitely max out on this. Then I'm playing 3 Titaniclad. Titaniclad is really nice because it's a level 8, so you could send this for a ritual summon of a Dogmatika ritual monster. And if this is sent to the graveyard in the end phase, you can either add or special summon any Dogmatika monster from your deck. This means that you can add yourself the Fleur to have another hand trap essentially, or you can special summon an Ecclesia, get another Surge. This is just really nice to have. Then I'm playing some one-off targets just to send to the graveyard. I'm playing 1 Fossil Knight Skull Warrior. This doesn't trigger on being sent, which is nice because you can send this when you go first, and this could target and destroy a monster on the field. It's pretty much Entis, but cannot target every card on the field, but you can use it not just when it's sent, which is sometimes really nice. I'm playing 1 Wind Pegasus Adignister. This is just if your opponent hits you with anything, you can target 1 card of theirs and shuffle it back. 1 Paleozoic Cambroster. This can protect your back row by banishing itself from the graveyard. 1 Omega. You can summon this with the Gamma and the Driver as well. And then I'm playing some Waking the Dragon targets. I'm playing 1 Ultimate Falcon, 1 Last Warrior from another dimension, and 1 Naturia Exterior. Exterior is just an FTK against some decks, Last Warrior as well. And Ultimate Falcon, some decks really struggle with outing him. So sometimes he's essentially FTK as well. For the side deck, I'm playing 3 token collector because I don't like Sword Soul, and 1 isn't enough because we don't have a way to send him from the deck to the grave. Then I'm playing 3 Ghost Ogre because I don't like Brave. I'm playing 2 Waking the Dragons. This is accessible via Trap Check. So if our opponent uses Duster or use a Lightning Storm, we can just use Trap Check. We have set a Waking the Dragon from the deck, and then they are forced to destroy the Waking the Dragon. And we can have access to our nice Waking the Dragon targets in the extra deck. Then I'm playing 3 Heavy Storm Duster. This is trap trickable as well, so this can be set via Trap Check, and it can target and destroy 2 spells and traps on the field. The only out in our main deck really we have for Mystic Mine is Entis or Pank, so this is a must side in if you play against any like back row deck or something. Then some spice. I'm playing 1 Witchcrafter Golem Uruhu. This says that if a spellcaster monster you control is targeted via a card effect or by an attack, you can special summon this from your hand and then return 1 card your opponent controls to the hand. This is nice because it's a level 8, so it's good ritual tribute fodder. It has a nice effect because it's removal, it's a big body on 2800. And it's just nice if you get interrupted, you at least get something for it. So let's say I get interrupted on my Ecclesia, I can just summon this from my hand, get a bounce, and this returns to my hand as well during my opponent's standby phase. So I can reuse this pretty many times, best case. And finally, I'm playing 3 Anti-Spell Fragrance. This hurts us a ton because we are playing a ritual deck and we play quite many spells. But if we can set up our board going first, then this makes our board way harder to break. And I don't think anybody plays through, let's say, like 2 Entis Pops, set punishment, and 3 cards taken from the extra deck plus anti-spell. Like, that's just not happening. I actually gifted this deck to my girlfriend and we played yesterday with it. She said she liked it. That's nice. So, yeah, I hope you like the deck as well. If you have any ideas for other deck lists, just post them in the comments, or in general, if you have any other ideas or feedback, just post them in the comments. Not asking you to subscribe because that's cringe, but feel free to do that as well. And you guys and girls have a nice day and see you in the next video. Goodbye.